Hey, buddy, eyes up here.
What's good, nigga? Back with another video. Drink water if you have it today. You know what I'm saying? We got ourselves a new video, new reaction to, I think, a new person we've haven't react to on the channel. A YouTuber by the name of Ty Moody. He has a good video talking about James Gunn, DCU, stuff that he's probably gonna work on soon. The video is titled What James Gunn is really. I don't think he even proof checked the damn title. What's James Gunn really working on after Superman? In brackets with proof. So we got that, and the cover with this Superman and Batman with a group that I know of, that I don't know if y'all know of, the Terrifics, which is kind of like DC's answer to the Fantastic Four, I'm assuming. So a lot of people saying that, like, a lot of the seeds that are getting set up in Superman might lead to a Terrifics, movie or project in the future, because like in the earlier stages of the DCU, when James Gunn was still when he just became the head and was like making plans, a lot of people were theorizing that, like, a lot of pictures he was posting up of, like, the Terrifics and stuff, a lot of people were theorizing that he might be adapting that team to the DCU, and it seems like that could be a possibility. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. So since we're talking about DC and comic books, I'm gonna do my comic of the day. Got Teen Titans Earth 1 Volume 2. If you haven't read Teen Titans Earth 1, this is essentially like, if you read Marvel's Runaways or watched the Marvel's Runaways TV show, it's quite literally that, but in the DC universe. DC's versions of, like, the Runaways. And it's so good. It combines the Teen Titans and just other different teams, and like the way it builds the lore, how it changes the lore up from the DC canon that we know of. It's so good. If you haven't read this book, it's really good. Cyborg. This version of Cyborg is so cool, in my opinion, and I love the Teen Titans group in this book. It's really good. Haven't read that? Go read that, man. But without further ado, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you know I'm posting videos, man. Let comment down below if you want to see more DC reactions, DC videos. Let me know which DC videos you want me to react to, and I'll be ready to react to them, man. So without further ado, man, get to this video.
Of Batman and Superman share the big screen. It's just not likely that that's what he's working on right now, because none of the evidence points to a world's finest movie, but it does point to something terrific. But before we get into it, I'd like to quickly say thank you so much for everyone who is tuned in right now, but especially thank you to my returning viewers. I know I've been gone for about 3 months now. I just had a couple of life things happen, some good, some not so good, but I'm very excited to show you guys a passion project that I've been working on. Can't show it to you right now, but I can show you the type of training that I've done for this passion project. I know you guys noticed that I've gotten a little bit bigger.
That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. So you're doing good.
Okay, back to the video. So as far back as January 20th of 2025, James Gunn has hinted at the fact that he has already begun pre-writing on his next DCU project. But just yesterday, so May 31st, at the time of filming, he actually confirmed that he is no longer pre-writing, but he is in full writing mode. And so obviously this type of announcement led to some speculation about what this movie could possibly be. And like I mentioned in the beginning, a lot of people started leaning towards a Batman-Superman movie. But why? Well, it's actually not too difficult to understand, because when James Gunn posted this picture on Labor Day of 2024, a fan asked, if you had to make a Superman-Batman movie, what would you call it? And James Gunn responded, World's Finest. But that's actually the weaker bit of evidence, because we also have clips of James Gunn saying stuff like this.
Listen, I gotta tell you, I just love Batman. I love him. I've loved him since I was a little kid. He's one of my favorite characters. I've gone on record in the past when I was at Marvel saying my favorite character is Batman. I love him, you know. And we're gonna do great things with him. He's the most popular superhero in the world, and I can't wait for people to see more of him, along with Superman, and together.
Yeah, he's working on it though. They say he's working with the writer for Brave and the Bold. My hope is that Brave and the Bold can start as just like the Bat family, and then could go into like Batman Inc. and like shit. Even if you watch the Batman Brave and the Bold cartoon, even just having Batman team up with niggas, that's probably going to happen in any way in the DCU. So you don't need to make that the Brave and the Bold sequel, but just have Batman, you know, team up with Firestorm, or team up with, you know, just a character that you wouldn't normally see Batman team up with in like a normal DC setting, like a Brave and the Bold, like, ooh, cool mashup. Like Batman and the Outsider would be a cool. I feel like that would be a cool adaptation in the DCU. Batman and the Outsider, like
James Gunn's next project
Black
would
Lightning,
be a world's
Katana, and
finest
all
movie,
them.
then what
That'd be
Jeff
fire.
Snyder
I would like to
posted
see
on
that.
May 6th
They do that
was just
at some
another
point.
nail in the coffin. He's
down
quoted
the
as
line.
saying, "The signs that I'm getting is the next Batman movie won't be the Batman 2. Like, the next time you see Batman, it'll be like a world's finest movie or something." That is probably what Gunn is working on right now. If he's not writing a direct sequel to Superman, then it's got to be something that incorporates Superman and Batman. End quote. Now, whether you choose to believe that or not is completely up to you, but I will say this. Jeff Snyder undeniably does get some things right. For example, if we take a look at this same newsletter, we can see that he predicted that Clayface would get rewrites. And as luck would have it, only a couple days later, Mike Flanagan, the writer of Clayface, did an interview with comicbook.com, and he basically told them that even though he is not working on this movie anymore, he knows that they're still reworking his original script. Now, on the flip side, we also know that he gets things wrong. For example, the day before Aaron Pierre was announced to play Jon Stewart, Snyder wrote in his news post that Stephen James was the forerunner, meaning DC had this man in their sights. They wanted him to play the role. Now, I'm trying to give him some grace here, because Stephen James really was a finalist alongside Aaron Pierre, but dog.
I really wanted him, me personally. I will always stand by this, but I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody says. I will stand by this. If it came down, if it was me personally, I know it came down probably to like, you know, the chemistry between him and Kyle Chandler. But if it was me personally, it came down to who I would have picked.
That would mean there was no
I would have picked
deliberation,
Stephen
no
James.
negotiation. They flipped on a dime like that. And this is
You know,
why I am highly skeptical of these type of scoops. And I'm actually even more skeptical of this Batman-Superman scoop, specifically because of the way it's phrased. So what I mean is that if we read something like his Clayface leak, something that has now been verified to be true, we can see that he uses phrases that exude confidence, like, no
shade Aaron Pierre though. I want to see Aaron Pierre.
Conversely, when we read his Superman Batman leak,
if I could just shimmy on in here, I don't think anyone will mind. And okay, almost.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
Conversely, if we take a look at the Superman Batman scoop, we can see that the language he uses in it is a lot more speculative than it was in the Clayface scoop. Here he uses words like signs instead of sources, and that is important because you don't reference signs, you reference sources. He also says probably. He's not saying this is what James Gunn is working on right now. He is saying this is probably what James Gunn is working on right now.
He don't know for real. He don't know.
The point. I don't really trust this scoop, and I don't really believe that this next project by James Gunn will be a Superman Batman movie. Not because I don't want it, but because I think there is so much more evidence that points to the fact that this movie will be about the...
Oh, good Lord.
I'm telling you, don't get your hopes up.
So the reason I'm certain that this upcoming mystery project by James Gunn is a movie about the Terrifics is not because I have this one piece
of dog shit.
Terrific.
Evidence that's like a smoking gun. No, it's more like I have a lot of compounding evidence that dates all the way back to when James Gunn was first announced to be the DC Studio co-CEO. And that was on October 25th of 2022, and not even a month later, on November 15th, one of the first things that he posted was a picture of Mr. Terrific. Now, this on its own isn't actually that telling, because it could have just been James Gunn hinting at the fact that Mr. Terrific would show up in Superman. But then he posted this cover of the Terrifics on March 29th, 2023, and only a couple months later, on July 12th, we found out that Anthony Kerrigan got cast as Metamorpho, one of the original members of the Terrifics. But that's not where it stopped, because it got even more suspicious when in December of 2023, so only a couple months later, James Gunn posted a picture of Plastic Man, another founding member of the Terrifics. Now, I'm starting to feel like Billy Mays in this, because I gotta hit you with a but wait, there's more. Only 2 months.
Yeah. There's more. Hold up. My girlfriend called, you know. It happens, you know. So we're gonna get back to this little bit of we have in this reaction, and then I'm gonna talk about it in,
what do you think about these 3 rumors? To which he
Without further ado,
responded, at least one of those things is not true. Now just humor me for a second, and let's just say that for the sake of 24, a fan asked James Gunn, what do you think about these 3 rumors?
Wait, go back.
To which he responded, at least one of those things is not true.
So literally, the one thing, 2 things that we already know is in development. Yeah,
that only one of these rumors is not true. I know James Gunn said at least, which means that 2 or all 3 could be incorrect, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, that only 1 is false. It would have to be the rumor about Ruthie, not only because Teen Titans was already confirmed to be in development, but also the young actress who got cast as Ruthie has already been in a Netflix show called 3 Body Problems. She was a voice in Peppa Pig, and she's had representation since 2022. I can almost guarantee you that this was not an open casting call. Now, with that being said, if only one of these rumors was false, and we proved that it was the Ruthie rumor, then that would mean Plastic Man is getting his own movie, and he's coming to the DCU very soon. Okay, I'll admit that is pretty speculative, but what isn't speculative is the fact that James Gunn did an interview with IGN where he basically told them that of the supporting heroes in Superman, Mr. Terrific is the main character, but also
live action.
He has a huge role in that movie. And he didn't even need to say this, because we can actually just tell from the trailers that Mr. Terrific will have a major role in this movie. It seems like he has some kind of subplot with Lois Lane where he's going off and he's maybe figuring out like, hey,
we can see
shouldn't be a part
we see him in a lot of
Justice Gang. And it's the fact that he's not shown in the Peacemaker Season 2 trailer with Hawkgirl, Maxwell Lord, and Guy Gardner that really tells me that he is not with that team anymore. At the end of Superman, he will go off and do his own thing and probably form the Terrifics. And I think this move makes even more sense when we take a look at the publication side of things, because Metamorpho and Mr. Terrific just got their own solo books, and what James Gunn did to Guardians of the Galaxy, I think he is now trying to do to the Terrifics. So yeah, in conclusion, while I do think that there is some evidence to support the idea that James Gunn might be working on a Batman Superman movie, I just think that there is not only more evidence, but more concrete evidence to support the idea that his next movie will be a Mr. Terrific movie. So with that being said, why don't my little tea princesses have a terrific day?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see that. Oh my god. So ugly. It's ugly as outro, bro. W video though. W video.